All right, this one's a little bit more complex. We're not going to cover absolutely every single aspect of this effect, but we're just going to kind of look at the basic aspects of it. So, we are looking for an effect called Lumetri colour. So, Lumetri. And the first thing that you're going to see is that it pops up with all of these presets. Now, you can absolutely just drag and drop these on. That's absolutely fine. These are all pretty much colour grades built off of a specific style. Anything noir tends to be black and white. Gold tends to give you that kind of yellowish look, the hue of like the sort of old sort of tobacco westerns. You've even got some there that are kind of named as such. There are some that are a little bit on the nose as to where they've got their inspiration from. At the very bottom, under colour correction, you have this effect called Lumetri colour. Let's drag that on. And, you know, there is a whole section for colour grading. I'll be honest with you, I'm quite lazy and I tend to just do it all within here. But, you know, work with whatever works best for you. We have basic correction first of all, and it will drop down some of those LUTs. And what is a LUT, you might be asking? It's short for lookup table, which is basically software-based colour grading pre-made for you. So if I was to put some of these on, you'll see that it starts to adjust the grade of this video over here. Okay, you can add in custom ones, you can browse. Underneath all of this though, it will give you very basic control. So temperature, you can turn up or down, which basically adjusts the red or the blue, yellow or the blue. Okay. Tint, as you can see, goes more pink or green. Exposure makes it brighter, darker. Contrast increases the contrast between the colours. Highlights will obviously adjust the highlights in there. Shadows will adjust the shadows. White tones, black tones. Now, the first job that you tend to have when you're colour grading is actually colour correction, which is a very different thing. So we're going to be looking at using adjustment layers for our colour grade, and there's a reason for that. When you're colour correcting, you're trying to achieve a bit of consistency between the clips so that they're not massively different in tone. And the white and the black tones are effectively what you're adjusting for that. Now, when you do this, you tend to shoot in something called log, which just basically strips a lot of the colour out of your picture. It doesn't make it black and white, but it almost gives you like a blank canvas. So that's the first thing that you would want to do, really, is to correct them. After that, we have all of our creative looks. So again, more of our LUTs here. Matrix green gives you that kind of matrix look. Matrix blue. Matrix Mars, which I think is more, forgotten the name of the film, but there you go. Noir, high dynamic range, low dynamic range. You have all these that are kind of based on old cameras as well, and just other kind of film-based cameras. Gives you a bit of grain, gives you a bit of noise. Monochromatic. Some great ones on there. Again, you have all these extra adjustments. So you can adjust the fade, can make it look more faded, make it look sharper. The vibrance, which basically just boosts the colours, a very Taika Waititi type grade thing to do. Saturation, again, just adjust the saturation of the colours. Here, instead of just black and white tones, you can adjust a tint of specific tones. So if I want my shadows to be more yellow and my highlights to be more pink, for example, okay. I think that's as far as we'll go with that, to be honest with you. Just practice with that for now. Now, the problem is, I don't want to have to drag that effect over every video that I have, right? Now, I can do that. I can go copy, I can go to this clip here. I can go paste attributes, and I can tell it what I want it to copy, like Lumetri color. But that takes ages. Imagine if you've got 15, 16 clips here. What I can do is I can go to a new item, and I'm going to add an adjustment layer. Okay. Now I'm going to put that on top and drag it out to the length of what I need. Apologies if I sound breathless. It's because the asthma's playing up. All right, so there we go. 2 clips. Let's pretend I've corrected them so they're pretty close in sort of their colour. All right. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add my Lumetri colour to this adjustment layer. And just to show you kind of in a really obvious way, change this to like a noir setting. All right. So that's made that black and white. It's also made this black and white. So basically, whatever you add to this adjustment layer will add that effect over all the top. You can also use that to add your bars at the top and bottom. So if I add a crop now to my adjustment layer, and I usually do about 10% off the top, 10% off the bottom, boom. Now we have our cinematic bars. Okay, so that's Lumetri and adjustment layers.